Okay, so we're back for our second session with Steve.
Hello.
Talk about super yacht training and getting into the super yacht world. So I think we finished the last session about talking about other seasons and working on the boat and all that sort of stuff. So how do you get a job in the super yacht world? I mean, who do you go to get a job?
So I think that's one of the key questions, really. And this is where times have changed quite dramatically in the last 10 to 15 years. 10 to 15 years ago, the industry was a little bit less formal than it is now. And a lot of people used to quite simply walk down the docks or the pontoons of the various marinas in various places where these super yachts tend to congregate. And you'd sort of tap on the hull and ask if there was any work. Um, as the boats have got bigger and the industry's got far more professional, things have very much changed now. Those days, although I won't say that nobody ever gets a job like that, I would say that the majority of people now get their work through an agency. And the yachts themselves, what they do is they advertise their positions through, there are a handful of agencies, recruitment agencies, that are specialised in supplying crew and professional mariners, if you like, to large yacht positions. So they're real specialist recruitment agencies. And so the vast majority of people that get work on the large yacht industry do so through an agency. And what are the agencies looking for? Well, they're looking for a CV. And there's an application process to go in through the recruitment agency. And what needs to be on your CV? Well, it needs to be qualifications. So, as I say, the industry has now become far more professional, far more organised, and there are certain qualifications that are required for a person to get a job in the larger industry, and these need to be on the CV, and the recruitment agencies will certainly be checking for that.
Okay, so is there a best time of year to apply, or when are boats looking for new crew?
It's an all year round process, so 12 months of the year. I would say that more people tend to find a position either at the beginning of the Mediterranean season, which would be sort of like May, June, perhaps early July, and the beginning of the Caribbean season, which would be sort of end of November, December, perhaps early January. But that said, there are always places that become available mid-season for various reasons. People need to leave their jobs, they go home, their life changes, whatever it might be. So there are mid-season jobs that are advertised and filled, and so therefore it is a year-round process.
Okay, so that's good. You can sort of apply anytime then. So that's good.
Yeah.
And what qualities do you think are needed for somebody looking to go into the super yacht industry?
I would say most importantly, enthusiasm. We in the super yacht industry, we are looking for people that are keen, they're enthusiastic, and looking to get on very well with people. So you need to be a real people person. Bearing in mind you're living in, although these yachts are huge, it's still a relatively small and confined space that you're living in. And so you need to be able to get on with the people that you're living with on the boat. That includes, of course, not only the crew and your crewmates, but also it includes the guests, the owner, the families. So you need to be a people person. So your usual qualities of a big smile and friendliness and politeness and consideration is important, but enthusiasm, a real drive, a keenness to get on with the job, if you like, and enthusiastically clean the decks, or enthusiastically maintain that jet ski, or enthusiastically splice that line. Always thinking, okay, I've finished this job. How can I help somebody else? How can I get involved? How can I be part of the team? That enthusiasm is crucial. So from a character perspective, enthusiastic, people person, and also qualified. You need the qualifications.
Okay. And so when you're not working very hard, what do you do on your rest periods? Like where do you live? I mean, what do you go and do?
Sorry, say that again, please.
So on your when you're not on duty, you're not working, what do you do when you're not working? Do you go home? Do you what do you do?
Okay, so if I mentioned earlier on about the 5 months on, 1 month off, so if you're in your 5 months on and you're off watch, if you like, so you're not working, there are crew areas, so crew mess or recreational areas, normally TV room and things, that you can spend time with, and you're off duty. There will also be times that you can go ashore. Now that, of course, depends on whether the boat is moored stern to the dock, and it's easy for you to be able to step off onto the dock and then go into town or wherever it is that you're berthed. Or it might be that the boat is at anchor, which means that there needs to be a tender, and you need to run ashore to go ashore there. So you can go out in the evenings with other crewmates. A lot of boats socialise with other crews from other boats, so it's not unusual that you've got in a marina, and there are various places that the super yachts tend to congregate. Antibes, south of France, Saint-Tropez, Monaco, Palma in Mallorca, Barcelona. Over in the Caribbean, it's Antigua, it's St. Martin. In the US, it's Fort Lauderdale. So if you go to somewhere like Fort Lauderdale or Palma or Antibes, then you'll see very probably 8, 10, 12, 15 large super yachts, 50, 60, 80 meters, all moored next to each other, stern to. Of course, all of the crews get to know one another and socialize together. So it's a real kind of community there. It's a real super yacht community. So that would be socializing and with your time off on board. If you were in your 1 month off, or if you're a bit more senior, 2 months off, then you would leave the boat, and it might be that you leave the boat and then somebody else is replacing your role on board. So it's important that you have left the boat entirely with all your kit, your bag, your gear, and you would then go wherever you want to go. So some people would come back to the UK and see friends and family. Other people would travel. If the boat is in Fort Lauderdale, for example, you might decide that you're going to spend some time touring around the US. If the boat is in the Mediterranean, you might decide to jump on a plane and fly to New Zealand. Bearing in mind you're earning £2,000 a month here plus tips, and so you've worked very hard for that money. You need some downtime, let your hair down, and a lot of people might choose to spend that money by seeing the world.
Okay, and if you're returning back home, I know that somebody asked, does the boat pay for your travel to go back home? But I assume because you're earning so much money that they'd expect you to pay your own flight to get home.
No, that's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
Most contracts include one return flight to and from your home. Let's assume it's the UK for a minute. So one return flight to the UK and back within your 5 months on, 1 month off.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And because you say that the boat's is a real mixture of crew and you travel around the world, really, do you need to have a foreign language to work on a boat?
So that's a good question. It helps to be multilingual. If the boat is based in Barcelona and you speak Spanish, then obviously that's going to be a good thing. If the boat's based in Antibes and you speak French, then that's obviously a good thing. But it's not essential. And we're very lucky because English is the sort of common maritime language around the world, in the same way that it's the common aviation language around the world. So it is helpful, but not essential to speak another language.
Okay. And somebody else asked, do they need a driving license? Because sometimes if you're 18, you might not have a driving license yet.
Yeah, I've never come across anybody that has not got a job because they haven't got a driving license. Don't forget, you're based on board a boat. You're living on board the boat where you work, so there's no commute to get to work as such. So it's a driving license, not essential. Can't do any harm, of course, but not essential. What you do need is the relevant licenses for the tenders and for the jet skis. And that's a must.
Yeah. And I think the last question we had was some people have made comments that if you get into the super yacht industry, it's not really a real career. It's not like being a doctor or an accountant, or it's not a real career. But what would you say to that?
I can see why a person might think that it's not what you might call a traditional career. A traditional career being a doctor or a lawyer or a fireman or going into the army, whatever. But I would still call it a career. It's what you make of it. So some people, they choose to join the super yacht industry because the money's so very good and the travel is inherent within the job, and you're working on some incredibly nice bits of kit, some beautiful boats, and they might choose to do that for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Typically, somebody who's 19 years old might decide to stick with that until they're 21, 22, 23, earn some money, save some money, and then go to university or put a deposit down on a house, or spend that money in some way to then change direction once they've perhaps worked out exactly what it is that they want to do with their lives. It's just a way of earning money at a young age. Other people absolutely passionate about the marine world, and what they might do is they might decide, actually, I really enjoy this industry. They work their way up through, they become a bosun. Maybe they then go and do some more qualifications, become a second officer, a first officer, ultimately a captain, potentially. And you are earning considerably more money if you're doing that. You're working 2 months on and 2 months off. And a lot of the captains of these very, very expensive 200, 300, 400 million pound yachts are only in their early 30s. And so it very much is a career for those people. You've also got a lot of people, myself included, that have worked at sea in the large yacht industry, that have then moved on to do something that is different, in that it's not still on the vessels, but it's related to the large yacht industry. So, for example, I train crews. Some people, they leave and they set up a recruitment agency. Other people will specialize and train particular people, or liaise or supply certain services. There are all kinds of services that are required on these large yachts, anything from teak deck specialists to engine specialists to perhaps below decks. They set up their own businesses to supply the services to the large yachts. So yeah, some people, it's a quick in and out, 2, 3, 4 years just to earn some good money and see the world. Other people, they stay on the yachts for their whole careers, or maybe move through into the cruise ship industry. And others still do it for a few years and then move into some kind of support role.
Okay, so it sounds like a great opportunity for somebody either leaving college or uni or early 20s, to go and do. So yeah. So how would sorry, go on.
So just to emphasise that the vast majority of the crews on these large yachts are people that are in their either late teens or 20s or 30s. That doesn't mean that somebody in their 40s or 50s can't get a job in the super yacht industry, but that would be quite unusual. The majority of people that get work are 19, 20, 21, and in their 20s. So this is very much an opportunity for should we say, a younger person.
Yeah. So for somebody looking to sort of go into the industry, and we've obviously got these super yacht training packages on offer, and there's 4 different packages. How do they, which people can look on our website and read through and see what they are, but how do they link together?
Okay,
how do they work?
So we have designed the 4 packages to be as flexible as possible. So the basic package is 2 weeks, and that gives you the absolute basic qualifications, the fundamentals that you simply cannot get a job in the industry without. the qualifications that we offer within that basic 2-week package. The superior deckhand package, which is a further 2 weeks, that introduces far more jet skiing, and it takes you up to become a PW personal watercraft or jet ski instructor. And the superior package then is, if you can, that's what you want to be aiming towards as a minimum. And the reason I say that is that the basic package does give you the absolute basic minimum requirement to give you a CV that you can submit to an agency and look to get a job. But I can tell you that the vast majority of super yachts have got jet skis on them, and it is a requirement in most countries around the world, certainly Mediterranean countries, that people that use jet skis and any other small craft on the water are required to have a license. And the license in question is the RYA Personal Watercraft Proficiency or Safety ticket. It's one or the other. And in order to get that license, then a lot of the super yachts have registered themselves with the RYA to become recognised training centres within their own right, so that actually on board the vessel, on board the yacht, the crew can deliver training to the guests and the charter guests and the families of the owner, in order to be able to satisfy this requirement that anybody that uses the jet skis can have got a license. So therefore, that means the crew on the super yachts need to be jet ski instructors. And this is one of the real standout qualifications and benefits of our packages, because we are the only, as far as I'm aware, we're the only sea school anywhere in the UK that offers super yacht packages that contain the ability to get to a personal watercraft instructor. And that PW instructor ticket, which is part of our superior package, will give you a standout CV, and you'll be far more likely to get a job in the super yacht industry with that on your CV, because, as I explained, it's a requirement, a legal requirement in these Mediterranean waters, that the crews have instructors on board that can train the guests that can then so that they can go jet skiing.
Okay, so I noticed in that superior package that there's the PwC advanced handling course, which I've not seen anywhere else. So
yeah, so, and this is another reason why we're pretty much unique within the UK and almost worldwide, in that we have developed our own personal watercraft advanced handling course, which we use as part of the superior deckhand package to transition somebody with a little bit of jet ski experience and the RYA's proficiency certificate, which is an entry-level course. We use our advanced handling course to transition the skill set of that person with the proficiency, the PW proficiency ticket, through our advanced handling course to really bring them up to speed in terms of skill sets, so that they can then enroll into the PW instructor course, which is the second week of our superior package. So there are other schools out there that offer super yacht training, but none of them include the PW instructor ticket, because they don't offer the PW advanced handling qualification and training, because that's very specialized, and we're the only people that are able to do that because we've developed it.
Okay, and so for those that are perhaps they've done some training and they've been on a boat for a couple of years, but they want to sort of get up to yacht master, could they use our packages for that, or would they book separate courses, and how would they do that?
Yeah, so there are 4 packages. There's the basic package, then there's the superior deckhand package, then there's the third package is the skipper's package. That takes you up to be a commercial skipper, and then the 4th package takes you up to yacht master. The basic package is week 1 and week 2. The superior package is then superior deckhand is then week 3 and week 4. The skipper's package is then week 5, 6, 7, and 8. and that takes you to commercial skipper. And then the Yacht Master package is then week 9, 10, 11, and 12. So it's a total of 12 weeks of training. But although you can do all 12 weeks straight away if you want to, we have designed it so that is possible. What you might do is you might do the first 2 packages, so the first 4 weeks, put your CV into an agency, get some work, get a job, get some experience, disappear off into the large yacht industry, come back the following year, and then do weeks 5, 6, 7, and 8. So then do our commercial skippers package. You might then do the commercial skippers package and then the Yacht Master package all in one go at that point. You might do the basic package, the superior package, and the commercial skippers package. If you've got 8 weeks here in the UK, you could go right the way through to commercial skipper, then go off and get some experience, then come back and then do your Yacht Master package. So you could do either all 12 weeks in one go, or you could do 8 weeks in one go and get some sea time, come back and then work through to Yacht Master. Or you could do the first 4 weeks and go off, get some experience, and then come back and continue with your training. Or at a push, you could do the first 2 weeks, and that would be the absolute basic minimum requirement, and then put your CV in and try and get some work. You might very well get some work, and we'd encourage you to do that, but the chances of you getting work is going to increase considerably if you've got a better CV, and your CV is going to be much better if you've got that superior deckhand package with that PW instructor ticket on it.
Okay, well, it all sounds great. So I think that's really it, all the questions that we had. So hopefully the 2 videos that we've done have helped people sort of make an informed decision. But of course, we're in the office 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. Give us a call, have a chat, or send us an email, and we can chat things through and help you make a decision as to whether you want to go forward into the super yacht industry.
Yeah, I think the most important thing to say about our packages is they are designed to be flexible. It's not appropriate for everybody to do the full 12 weeks, although it might be appropriate for some people to do that. Some people might not have the time to do that. It might be that we're working with people that have already got some previous experience, and we can take that into account. So very much as Nikki says, then give us a call, have a chat to us, and we can try and work out what is best for you personally, whether it be the first 2 packages, whether it be the 3rd commercial skipper, whether it be all 4, and whether we would advise the flexibility of leaving and then coming back. Basically, the whole thing is designed to be as flexible as possible so that we can make it work for you and your circumstance.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and yeah, we look forward to speaking to some people soon.
See you soon. Bye now.
Bye.